Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Success Life. My name is Eric Reed. I am a coach, and I'm glad that you joined me this morning for Success Life, whether this is live or replay. Glad you took a moment, click the play, click the follow, click the like, whatever it is, and just jumped in and joined us. Good morning, Miss Gail. I hope you are well. It's been a busy week, and it's only Wednesday. I know you, I see you out there, and it's hump day for Gail, so make sure you jump over and join her friend Humphrey on hump day as she motivates and guides us through the week. Good morning, Charles. Hope you are well, my friend. I can't wait to speak to you on Friday for Fun Friend Friday. Yes, that was a bit of a teaser alert, y'all, so you got to stay tuned. So a lot going on this week, Don't know. I had to get a new journal book because my other one was getting all worn out. So I guess that's a good thing. And did I just see Steve jump in? I'm not sure. Anyhow, good morning, Debbie. I'm sorry I didn't see you jump in. So this week we've been talking a lot, and I'm just going to jump straight into the lesson because I know we've been running long and I don't want to have you miss the bus, so to speak. So we've been talking a lot about building our goals, building our vision, getting to where we need to go in our lives, and being dreamcasters, dream builders, change makers, entrepreneurs, solopreneur, mompreneurs, even those people that are in careers that they're trying to advance in traditional work world. We reach this point where we're moving and we're going and we got this momentum and we feel our boots climbing the mountain and we're taking success. And then we hit a plateau where we hit a sinking spot. We keep doing this cycle over and over again. And every January, we make our New Year's resolution, or we pull out our vision boards, or we pull out our goal books. And it seems like it's a rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And it's not a rinse and repeat because we're gaining progress. It's a rinse and repeat because we get to a certain point and then we fail, we defeat, we give up, we lose track, and it's just the momentum. And so I wanted to share with you a technique and an idea and a thought around that. Good morning, Joe. I have missed you, and I've been meaning to reach out to you off camera outside of this, and I'm really bad at that some days. I think it's just because the day gets away and then the kids get in. But anyhow, good morning, Mr. Joe. And so this idea that we reach a level of success and then plateau, reach a level of success and then collapse, reach a level of success and failure, and that we spend so much time up here in the intellect, in the thinking, in the planning, in the doing, in the thought. All of this is doing all of the work, trying to get all of the stuff done. Like, here's my workout plan, here's my diet plan, here's my financial plan, you can hear it. It's all way up in here. And we never dive down into the rest of us, our whole beingness. And so we get to a certain point and our brain just basically says, I've done all I can do. I've walked the walk, I've talked the talk, I've moved you here, but you got to deal with this stuff down here that you haven't dealt with, figured out, and understood. And I say that this stuff down here is related to the goal that we're trying to reach. And so I gave the example, and I'm going to recap on that, and I'm going to show you how to sort of reset the thing, and then just give you sort of a technique around what I do to help me push past some of those barriers that in the past I've been afraid to push past. So take a minute, say good morning, share it out, give a thumbs up, tell everybody hello and good morning and be blessed. And if you're in India, happy India Day or Independence Day. So the example I gave yesterday was around money. And so I've sometimes been guilty of money challenges. I've sometimes built success and financial success and only to have it blow up on me. Or I get a really good savings plan, we're working towards a goal, and then all of a sudden it seems like, wait, how did the credit cards start to have balances on? We lived, months and months and years with zero balance, and now they're off the heck. And so every time I would set a financial goal, I would hold on to it really tight. I'd be really good at it. And then all of a sudden it would be like binge eating. I would just explode around it. And I was like, what is the deal with this? Why am I not able to conquer this? And I said, well, what is my feelings around money? What do I think about? What do I feel about money? Not think about money, but what do I feel about money? Where did I get those feelings? Where did I get that impression? Where did I get that understanding of money that's happening down here in my energy center, in my heart, in my gut, in my soul, and all of the other part of me? I mean, I can intellectually tell myself having $1 million in the bank is a good thing. because it does this and it does this and that does this. And I can create an entire vision board about the success and the possibility of having that $1 million and the impact I can make on the world and all of the things related to having that $1 million. And I can make it a vision and a purpose and a passion. But it's all up here. And then all of a sudden, something will come from somewhere unknown and it will blow up on me. I will begin to self-destruct. I will begin to collapse and fall. And what I know is that I'm not changing the whole me. I'm not changing my feelings. I'm not changing my reactions. I'm not changing my experiences about money. And until I do that, it's like driving with one flat tire. Yeah, I'm making progress, but not at the rate that I could. Not in the direction sometimes that I want. And so I have to go back and I have to reflect. And often I say, when I do this as a coaching session, and understand this is not just a one and done session, sometimes it can be 2 or 3 sessions. So as you do it, if it takes you 2 or 3 times to go through the process, it's okay. We're peeling back an onion. We're peeling back an onion. We're revealing a flower and a thought and a feeling. So I'll go back and I'm like, what do I know about what do I know? Okay. I know it's a good thing. I know it can change lives. I know it's energy. I know it's energy that I created through work, effort, and idea that was created into this monetary thing called money. And then I can convert it into something else like a school, a gift, a donation. Okay. Got that. What do I feel about money? What do I feel about money? And that one sometimes takes me a little longer, because when we go to moving into feelings, we all tend to have a little resistance. And so I'll start to settle in. And if I can go back, and I say go back to about 10, 8, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back to baby time. Because that's when our feelings and the impressions and the experiences that we have about money are first formed. That's when they first get imprinted on us. And we don't intellectualize it because we're kids. We just experience it and record it, experience it and record it, experience it and record it. And so I have to go back. And as I said yesterday, I can still see so vividly. And anybody that grew up in my house, and I'm closing my eyes and I apologize if that feels rude. Happy Independence Day, Jean. I can still feel so clearly and see so clearly that experience. And so we had our kitchen and it had this little pass-through, cooktop area, and we had this big round table. And in the middle of the table was always, my mom loved flowers. But on the day of the month that it was bill paying time and dinner had been cleared and the dishes had been done, and we always had to scour the sink as soon as dishes were done. You had to scour the sink and clean off the surfaces, make a model home. I can see my dad going into the kitchen cabinet, and it was right where the phone hung on one wall, and you'd open the cabinets and there was a little workspace. You guys can all see it. And he would reach up to the top shelf and he'd pull down this gray box, and matter of fact, I have one now. And it was like this big. And he'd take it out and he could sit, and he had a pencil and a pen that was always in there. Nobody touched him. Oh, do not take the pencil and pen out of the box. And he had the checkbook and he had his ledger and he had all the bills that he had collected for the week or for the month in there. And he would start to pay the bills. And then the tension would rise. How come we're spending so much on electricity? How come we're spending so much on water? What do I run here? A hotel? And you could just hear the energy and the volume and the noise and everything about it. He hated money. He hated bills. And then the control and he wasn't being mean. He wasn't being intentionally negative about it, but that was his process. That was where he grew up. He grew up in the Depression. He grew up in the middle of World War II. When I say in the middle, he lived in the middle with German troops marching around him. So his experience and connection to money and safety and security and finances and bills is completely different. But I would sit there and we would all run. Literally as kids, we would do extra chores on the back 20 if we could to get away. And so how did that feeling last in me? Do I become so frightened that if I have too much money, that I'm going to turn out like him. I'm going to become so miserly and like all of the things around money. So why would I want to accumulate wealth if that's what it brings? Why would I want to increase success financially if that's the road that it's going to travel? Now, I've been exposed to other experiences and other impressions of that money. But that's one that vibrates and it holds in me. I can literally, if we had time, I could probably detail every piece out. And if I went back there and I dug down and I sat in it and I listened to it and I felt it, and the feeling it had on my mother and the feeling it had on my siblings and just the general overall energy that was around us, and how was I feeling in the moment? And how was other people feeling in the moment? And what, do I want to carry that? And you can see the complexity and the confusion of all of that feeling. And yet I'm trying to solve my financial resource problems up here by putting a chart on the wall, a thermostat, designing a graph and a goal and a sheet thing. Like all of this is going to deal with all of that? No. This is our belief system. This is our belief system. And if we sit there and say, well, change your belief system, but we don't go down here, we're only solving half the problem. We're only changing part of us, not all of us, to move to the new weed that we want to become. You don't grow half a tree. You grow a tree. All right? So I think we guys got it. You got it. You got where I'm at. You got the concept. You got the idea. You got why maybe in the past you weren't able to shift to where you wanted to shift. Why you get there and then you fail. Why you get there and it doesn't happen. Why you get there and then it's self-sabotage or you find yourself doing it over and over. You get it? Sorry, I got to do a little clear here. Too much energy. You're only doing half the work. And so what I do, and we're going to kind of go into a little meditation. Don't be spooked out. Don't be crazy. We're not going to the West Coast. We're not going to be wearing hippie gear and living at a compound sharing the same food from the same plate. That ain't what it is. To me, when I talk about energy work and meditation and prayer and reflection, it's just taking time to slow down, breathe deep, move out of here and into all of me. And I am bigger, greater, more than I can see through just my knowledge and intellect. And if I don't do the whole work, I don't get the whole prize. So what I often do, and I'm going to probably end up closing my eyes as I explain this to you, so if you want to talk about me behind my back, Joe will take notes and I'll read it later. Right, Joe? So I'll often go into a place of sitting and I'll breathe in. Breathe out. And you can do it with me. I typically do 3, the divine 3, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Walking them all into it. And then I start to move out and I see above me, 200, 300 feet, not like clear up into the stratosphere where I can't get to, just slightly floating above my head, light, love, harmony, peace, grace, goodness, God, all of the goodness, all of the best of the universe, all of it. I see it above my head and I start to pull that light down into me. And it crosses through my eyes so that I can see it. And then it crosses through my ears so I can hear it. And it crosses through my throat so that I can begin to connect the head and the heart. And I let that light just start to pour down on me. I did this visualization with a good friend of ours, David. And I said, picture yourself standing in the shower in the morning. And that warm water just coming down over you, and that light and that love and that grace and that peace and that harmony and that joy and all of the abundance that the universe offers to all of us equally without question and hesitation, just raining down on you like a good warm shower. And you start to roll into it, and gooey into it, and you feel it going across your head and across your eyes and across your mouth and down through your throat and into your heart. And then as it starts to move down into your heart, you feel that warmth begin to fill into you and fill around you and fill through you. Now, this typically takes me, can take me 3 minutes or 30 minutes. It depends on how long I want to stand in the shower, so to speak. But as I start to move that light, that love, that energy into me, I know that hiding somewhere in me is that thought, that feeling, that remembrance, that experience of being at that kitchen table and watching my dad do bills. And so I just sort of like pulled that thought, that memory, that feeling, that experience into the center of the light. I sort of like shower that feeling, that experience in the light. And I'm like, oh. It's like when you have a tension headache and you tilt your head just right and the hot water and the shower covers it and you start to feel that muscle relax. I start to feel the energy around that experience that's been holding me back, blocking me, keeping me trapped around money and finances. I feel that warm light, that love, that completion moving down into me. Good morning. We're doing a little bit of a meditation, so sorry for jumping in. And I let that light, that divine, perfect, godly, loving light just down, over, across, through me. And then it finds its way to that feeling that has been charged with negative resistance. Now, the experience isn't negative. The experience isn't bad. The experience isn't dark. But over time, there has been this tension of resistance between what I want and what I experienced. And I just simply see the resistance because I don't want to quantitate the experience as my dad was good, my mom was evil, whatever. I don't want to do that because that puts me in a bad place. I just simply say there is resistance here. There is an experience that is out of alignment with what my goals and desires and wants want to be. And I move that light over that resistance and I simply release the resistance. I say, no longer will I resist my purpose and my passion. I release the resistance. I accept the experience as part of the journey, as only a part, but not the whole. And I begin to talk the light into it. And basically what I'm saying is, I see you, I acknowledge you, but I will no longer fight with that experience. I will just incorporate it into the journey. You guys are getting this? It's kind of hard to do this way. When I do it in a one-on-one coaching call, it's a lot different. And then I just see the experience. And that experience can be around food, it can be around finances, it can be around relationships, it can be around love, it can be around whatever I've identified as my goal and my resistance point. And I just say I release the resistance. I will no longer battle with it. I will accept it as part of who I am, but I will grow and move beyond it. No longer will it stop me from my success. No longer will it harm my success. No longer will it interfere with my goal, purpose, and passion and desire. I release the resistance. I accept it for who I am and what I am, but not of all of who I am and what I am. And I speak to myself in that way over the resistance point. And then the light continues, the warm shower continues, the love, the grace, the perfectness. And hear the word grace in that I give grace. I give grace to my dad. I give grace to my mom. I give grace to the experience. I just like, and often at this point, what I will hear coaching clients say is, man, you can hear them breathing. You can hear them relaxing. You can hear the tension just let go. Like the muscles in their neck are finally breathing again. They can let that tension, that experience start to go. And they're like, whoa. And as they let that tension and that resistance go, you can hear them say things like, I didn't realize how much tension there was, or how much resistance there was, or how much there was around this. And so I let the light and the shower and the rain and all of the love and the grace and the perfect harmony go through that resistance point. It almost now becomes, and so what happens is when I'm visualizing it, is you can see that that light, that love, that peace, that grace hits the resistance. And as I talk that resistance away, then the light, the love, the harmony, the peace, the joy can move past it and down into my solar plexus, down into my legs, down into the feet, and back into the earth. And now I've created a connection between the divine and perfect and joy and light to myself and to the earth that I stand in. And then I know that now that that resistance is gone, that flow continues. We begin to move back and forth and up and down. Some people do the showering this way. I go up and down. That's just me personally. But what I have learned, and hope that you'll take time and hit this in the replay and do the experience over and over and the practice over and over again, is that when I say, I see the resistance, I see the tension, I see the conflict, I'm letting it go, and then I push through it with life, love, and harmony, then I'm able to come back and go, okay, everybody is on the team now. My mind, my heart, my spirit, my soul, my vision, my purpose, my passion, we're all now working together to achieve what I want to achieve in my life. And when I start to see those habits of destruction and conflict and tension build up, I'm like, oof. I need to bring it back. I need to see the resistance. I need to acknowledge the resistance. I need to accept that there is fear and doubt and confusion and emotions. And I accept them, but I do not let them control me. I simply release the resistance. And in releasing the resistance, what you're going to discover, the more you do this and the more natural it becomes in your thought process, you're going to see that when you start to move towards success, when you start to move towards purpose, when you start to move towards passion and purpose and divineness of what your life is going to be, you stop trying to fill holes. You stop trying to fix problems in your life and you start to move into your life. And that's what I call success life. That so often when I first meet with people and we talk about their goals, it's I want to get this, I want to get that, I want to have this, I want to have that. And it's all this pulling things into them and like patching themselves up like broken bones. But when we start to get past the resistance, past the experiences, past the moments that we experienced, hey, Tammy, lake day soon. You need to listen to this. Got to listen to this. I'm challenging you. It's a good one, I think. I don't know. Everybody else in the room, tell her. When we begin to see the resistance we have in our life towards certain things, we no longer need to challenge them. We no longer need to push past them with goals and needs and desires because they don't exist. So that gives us the opportunity to move into our bigger, better, higher self. That we're no longer worried about losing 20 pounds because somebody once told us we were fat or chunky or chubby. What we begin to move towards is I want to experience my life fully and healthy. And to do that, I will begin to live accordingly, blah, 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 whatever it is for you. We're no longer challenging ourselves against resistance points. And we're no longer developing life patterns and goals and strategies and all of that to push back the things that have been pushing at us. Because those things that have been pushing at us are no longer there. And so now you can see what begins to happen with us. We begin to move into our bigger, better, higher self. We stop building goal sheets around, I want to have this, I want to have that, I want to have this, I want to have that. And instead, I want to know this, I want to experience this, I want to become. All right? I know, it's been a heavy week, guys, huh? Afraid maybe some of you still have your eyes closed. Resist the resistance. Move towards how I can experience my full life. Exactly, Joe. I so often think when we write down our goals and our vision and our purpose statements, or we write down what we're working on, it's out of a desperation. It's out of a need to compensate for something that's going on down here in our heart and in our soul centers that we're trying to conquer from up here. And if instead we said, okay, you know what? Money is important. But what do I know, think, and feel? What do I know and feel about money? And when I say know, so it's know, think, and feel. Two of them are down here. One is up here. Know, think, and feel. Knowing is that spiritual awareness, that deeper thought, that, mother's intuition kind of thing. Feeling is how the experience imprinted on us. And then think is an intellectual process. So often we're only doing 1/3 of the work when there's 2/3 of the work that need to be done in order to move us into our success, move us into our life, move us into our purpose, passion, and vision and desires. So I hope you guys will try the experience or the practice. It's not complicated. It's not, deep, like, got to go to a temple for 30 days to be able to develop it. When I did it with David, we talked about the hot water shower, and he was like, man, I got 5 kids in my house. I haven't experienced a hot water shower in a long time. So he was all into the visualization. What are you compensating for that needs to be uncovered? Ooh, Joe. I need to get my notebook over there. Are you writing goals to compensate for shortcomings other people have said exist in your life? Are our goals simply reflections of things we're trying to compensate for? And are we willing to uncover them? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all about goals, vision, purpose, and passion. But I just want to make sure you're doing them in a way that sustains you for life. Not for 30 days, not for a year, whatever. I want you to be able to dive into them in a way that you wake up in the morning fully energized and passionate and excited, and you feel it every part of you, and you can't be contained by a calendar. That's what success life is about. That's what living your purpose and your passion is. That's what's divine in giving goals to your life. All right? So I appreciate you guys. I know the last 3 days have been somewhat like, whew, that's been a little weird, a little funky, a little new, a little different. But again, I think there's just a lot going on around a lot of people that I'm connecting with regarding how they're feeling, what they're trying to achieve. We hit this point mid-year, very common that everybody starts out with a full charge towards their goals, towards their dream. They just come off an event or something's happened in their life where they had all this kind of purpose and passion and vision and charge, and then they hit a failure point, and they're blaming themselves, and they're blaming, that they start I'm never gonna have, I knew it was wrong, I'm just one of those people. And they start to do that beating up and negative talk and negative thinking. And it's not uncommon as a coach that this is a time of year when I get more calls than during the first of the year, because people are hitting that frustration point where they're like, I so want to change and I keep going down the same road. So maybe that's why this was called into today. This is why it's been a part of a 3-day thing. I don't know. It's here for you. That's all I can say. I put it out there. I give it to you. You decide if it goes any further, stays where it's at, gets shared with everybody, gets talked about at the dinner table. That's not my thing. My thing is just to give it to you, to be of service, and to provide you a few little tools that I use, that clients of mine use, to help us achieve a life of success. All right? Thank you, Debbie. So we have Fun Friend Friday. We have Fun Friend Friday on Friday. We have tomorrow, and I got just a ton of stuff. I'm trying to figure out what to pull in next. It's just been a very creative energy week. And if you're a creative energy person, you should be doing this kind of thing, that channeling and that energy centering a lot. Are goals set for success really compensating for something that needs their attention to explore? Joe, you and I should do a talk on that, because you are a phenomenal... Y'all, do me a favor. I want you super thumbs up, but that's easy. What I want you to do is sometime between now and dinner time, wherever you're at, for some of you around the world, that might be just now, send Joe a thank you note. There's Joe's name. I can't spell it without looking at every letter. Because he comes in and he takes all of this in such a way, and he makes it I'm learning from Joe. And I want to hit the more button because it doesn't show up to see what else he said. But Joe's a quiet, silent leader. He deep water thinks. Y'all need to be scared of Joe, because those deep, dark waters, they hold lots of wisdom. So I appreciate you, Joe, and I truly want you to know how many times I've gone back and looked at the way you summarized or recaptured or turned something that you've typed or shared in text here. I'm like, ooh. It's as if you're teaching me what I'm trying to teach others. And that's what I love about doing this in the community, is that I grow and learn just as much from your comments and your feedback and your private messages, or whatever we do off this moment. I gain and learn so much. And so I truly do want you to know, Joe, that I value you, and I value the things that you teach me through this and other things as well. All right. So thank you, Joe. Thank you. I'll send my thank you note as soon as I clear screen. How's that? To all the rest of you, I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. Thank you, Tammy. Y'all, if y'all need a place to stay in Atlanta area, call me, because Tammy, she got the best house to stay. She is a great house mom. Don't you love that, Tammy? You're just now going to be a bed and breakfast. But no, thank you guys so much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. We're going to kind of do a little bit more of this. If you had questions about how to do the work, or what we are doing and why we are doing it, there's so many more layers to it. I could be happy to explain it to you. If you want to schedule some time, let me know. Otherwise, go out, live today with success, be your best, and be your fullest, because it is abundantly given to you to experience. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.